They thought they had Christ in their grasp. They thought they could do with him as they pleased.
Alright gamers, pull up a chair and let me paint you a wild picture. But before we jump into it, forget everything you know about Holy Crusades, because the Inquisitor flips the script in the most bonkers way possible. Picture this, you're stepping into the boots of Mortimer Matterdon. Not your average Joe, but a Holy Inquisitor with a job description that's pretty out there. Hunting down heretics and making sure the faith sticks, even if it means getting his hands a little dirty with torture. And by faith, we're talking about a brand that's got Jesus himself as the CEO. Except in this universe, Jesus is less about turning the other cheek and more about unleashing holy havoc. So Jesus didn't stick to the script of dying on the cross. Nah, he went full action hero, breaking free and going on a world tour of divine wrath, leaving non-believers in his wake. Fast forward 1500 years, and you, as Mortimer, are the muscle for this divine dictatorship in a world that's seen better days. The game kicks off with you being sent to sniff out a vampire rumor in 16th century Königstein, and it's not long before you're knee-deep in a conspiracy that's got more layers than an onion wearing a turtleneck. You're not just dealing with a bloodsucker, there's a whole buffet of sinister stuff going on. From the get-go, it's clear this game is more of a slow burn, kind of like reading a mystery novel at a coffee shop on a rainy day, but with more interrogation and occasional swordplay. Now, if you were expecting a hack-and-slash extravaganza, you might want to adjust those expectations. Sure, there's some sword clashing, but Mortimer's more of a talker than a fighter. Think less barbarian berserker and more Sherlock Holmes with a mace. You'll spend a good chunk of your time playing detective, chatting up the town's who's who, and piecing together clues. It's got a vibe that's a mix of old-school detective work with a dash of dark fantasy. For those thinking this might be a Witcher clone, pump those brakes. While it might give off those vibes with its medieval aesthetics and monster hunting, the Inquisitor carves out its own niche with a unique blend of gameplay elements. Mortimer even has this neat trick of following scents with a mechanic visually represented by glowing red smoke trails, which is pretty cool unless you're trying to keep a low profile. But just when you think you have a handle on things, the game throws you a curveball with the Unworld, a shadowy dimension that's like the worst kind of nightmare fuel. It's here that the game spices things up, challenging you to collect truth orbs while avoiding the Merc, a monster that sounds like it came straight out of a Lovecraftian horror story. Navigating the Unworld is a game of stealth and strategy, using light and prayers to stay one step ahead of the shadows. It's a nice change of pace from the detective work, adding a layer of supernatural intrigue to the mix. And just when you're getting comfy, the game throws bosses at you that'll test your mettle and possibly your patience with some old-school QTEs. Now, let's chat visuals. The Inquisitor is a bit of a mixed bag. One minute you're admiring the picturesque decay of Königstein, and the next you're wondering why everyone's necks look weird. But hey, indie studio The Dust deserves a nod for squeezing every bit of beauty out of the Unity engine, even if the results is a little uneven. Underneath its rough exterior, the Inquisitor is a compelling narrative journey through a twisted dark fantasy world. It's not without its marks, from the hit-or-miss QTEs to the sometimes janky visuals, but it manages to carve out a unique space for itself.
Quiet is my purgatory.
It's a game that rewards patience and curiosity, offering a rich story and an immersive world that's well worth exploring. So if you're up for a trip through a dystopian world where Jesus is a warrior god king and vampires are just the tip of the iceberg, the Inquisitor might just be your next big adventure. Just remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination.
Rejoice, scum! You're about to meet the Creator.
Thanks for being with us. If you liked the video, subscribe, activate the bell, and like. See you soon.